Yeah, no.
Our cup run, by the way, Man United, Man City, and Liverpool. I mean, a team that hasn't won anything. How shit is your luck?
You got to fight for it. If you want trophies, Henry, you got to fight for it. Yeah.
What? So the likelihood is we could, if we get past Liverpool, it could be Arsenal in the final. That cup run is horrendous.
But what a way to win your first cup in 17 years. That's a good story.
Does anyone actually think we can beat Liverpool?
No.
It depends how serious they take it.
You can, if it was a one-off. You could if it was a one-off. Over 2 legs, I find it hard.
And with the second leg at Anfield.
Yeah.
You
have to, like Arsenal, but maybe more. You've got to win 2 or 3-0. Or by
4-0.
Or by no, I think it's a 2 to 3 clear goal margin. You might be able to do it, mate. You might.
I think Ange is not going nowhere, Henry. You need to relax with the whole sack him tonight.
No, but but this is what I don't get, right?
What did you make it? Yeah, what did you make of the weekend performance with him also saying that if it was I can't do the accent, but if it was an even playing ground, mate,
we would have won that game.
We'd have won the game.
What does he mean by that? Injuries?
Yeah, what did that mean?
So what he meant was
he said the ref cheated. He said the referee cheated.
Now,
the referee cheated.
Jolinton's hand was not out. It wasn't high. It wasn't. It wasn't in an unnatural position. It was right by his side. Now, okay, we've seen those given. We've seen those not given. The inconsistencies. We can't blame the fact that we didn't win a game because the ball hit a player's hand. Newcastle, for me, were poor and Tottenham were the better team. But another game where Ange Postecoglou's tactical change, he takes off Bergvall, who was our best midfielder, for James Maddison. And when it was quite clear to see to everyone that it was Brennan Johnson was the one who should have went off. And then he should have put Kulu on the right and Maddison in the 10. Bergvall was the only
It was Bergvall's mistake that led to the goal. Your fans.
Yeah, other than the mistake. But did you hear the reaction when he got subbed off?
No, they booed him, not the manager.
No, that was booing Ange. That was not booing Bergvall.
That was booing Bergvall, bro. No, the kid was about to cry.
No, it wasn't. He was annoyed at his mistake, but he was one of our better midfielders. He was the only one getting on the ball.
He was arguably their best. Their best player.
Yeah, one of our better players. Solanke, another one, did well. And Brandon Austin, fair player. The guy's had 78 appearances. Well, not even 78 appearances. 78 times been on the bench. Comes into a back four of Jed Spence, Dragosin, Gray, and Porro, and he was actually claiming crosses. He actually looked all right, to be fair. And now we've signed our 5th goalkeeper. The first bit of signing business we've done this window, he signed Slavia Prague's goalkeeper. So now we've got 5 registered fucking goalkeepers. We're crying out for centre-backs.
He's highly rated, I've heard, though.
Yeah, he's highly rated, and he might be a good player, but that should not be the priority.
Thing is, when you say you were the better team, though, you had more of the ball, 56% of the ball, but they had more shots on target, more XG. They doubled your XG. They had 132% more XG than you. That's just going with the stats. I also watched it. I think you're taking the piss a bit here, Emery. Yeah,
I don't think that was nowhere near our worst performance we've had under Ange.
So same amount of shots on target. Oh, hang on. Just because it wasn't your worst performance doesn't mean you were better than Newcastle.
No, but my point is we actually took the game to them. And in the final third, we were poor, right? We missed chance after chance after chance. But that was nowhere near It wasn't a Newcastle dominant performance. I would say it was even, slightly in favour of Spurs. And I'm normally...
Is that based on the whole 90 minutes, Henry?
No.
Or is that based on the first half?
It's based on 30 minutes.
Newcastle had 20 to 25 minutes in the first half.
How can you lose a game and say it was even, but we missed it?
The reason I asked that question is just because, second half, because the way you've been describing Spurs' performance, say, oh yeah, we're all over them, blah, blah, blah. But Newcastle were winning by that point. So game state's a thing, isn't it? So I would actually argue that Newcastle didn't really care that Spurs came at them, unless they scored a goal, but they didn't score a goal. So
yeah, but that entire second half, Newcastle's approach was, like you just said, we'll just sit back. You come at us.
Yeah,
but they were winning.
Yeah, I know, but they still didn't do a huge amount in the second game to add to their third or fourth goal.
But they didn't need to. They got it right.
You've already done the work.
to be fair,
now we're saying if a team goes 1-0 up in the first minute, they just defend their entire game and not attack for 89 minutes.
To be fair, Tottenham should have scored. They literally shot across the box.
Yeah, I get that. But you're ignoring what Nobbin said. It's game state. It changes, and sometimes
I understand his point.
There's like cliches like a team can score too early. Sometimes when you go away against we've all seen this where smaller teams have come to our grounds and gone up early in a game. We're not talking about Man United in the state we're in now. We're talking about when we're a good team. Sometimes that's the worst thing that team can do. Because they sit back a little bit more. It wakes the other team up. If you're going to take a 1-0 lead, typically speaking, against the bigger sides, you actually want to do it really late in the game when there's less time to respond. But then the game state's different. So there is a bit of that. Look, I think you guys had a few moments in the game. You did well in terms of performance. But yeah, what I thought was funny about what Big Ange ranted about is that a year ago, you'll never hear me challenging the integrity of a ref. And as soon as he said that, I went, that's going to come back. He ain't seen these Premier League refs. That is going to come back and bite him in the arse one day. You know what I mean?
Coming up this month, Terry, we've got
Liverpool. We have to accept refereeing decisions.
Yeah, we got Liverpool on Wednesday. Then we've got an FA Cup tie against Tamworth. Then we've got Arsenal and Everton away. And if we're bringing in Kolo Muani and a goalkeeper, I don't see how this is going to improve. We haven't got Romero or Van der Ven back until the first week in February, which means we are forced to play Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin against Liverpool, Arsenal, and Everton away. And I don't know if you've seen the way Pickford's playing this season. That's got draw written all over it. We're not going to beat Everton. Like when it comes down to a manager, you earn your money by in-game changes. And he takes off our better player for fucking Madison and keeps... Oh, don't. How is Sky still in the job?
But Henry.
But why are you the only one who's calling for him to be sacked? I don't see too many calling for him to be sacked.
Like David Ornstein come out the other day and said his job is 100% safe. Now, no one's job on planet Earth, in my opinion, should be 100% safe. There always has to be an element of risk and there always an element of uncertainty. To come out when we're 12th in the league and only 1 point above the drop-off bit in the Europa League, it is madness. The narrative in the Tottenham fan base is, give them the cups, give them the cups, give them the cups. We're up against the best team in Europe right now. The likelihood is we will lose by a 5-goal margin over 2 legs to Liverpool. So then come February, when we haven't had a good transfer window again, Ange Postecoglou hasn't been backed, why should the narrative be that his job is 100% safe? It's fucking insanity. He is not a good manager. For me, he's the 4th worst manager in the league right now.
4th worst?
Who's worse than him?
Who's below him.
The Southampton manager.
Yeah,
I don't know who he is.
Do you know what? No, he's not 4th worst. He's the 3rd worst because I'll take McKenna at Ipswich over him.
McKenna ain't nowhere near the bottom of that list, pound for pound. He ain't. He's just not.
No, not pound for pound, but performing this season. I mean, respectively to the club. Okay. So I definitely would say Southampton.
Well, hang on. That's you just described pound for pound.
Pound for pound.
I don't know enough about the Wolves manager. I don't even know what his name is. I know they had
Vitor Ferreira.
Yes, I don't know much about him. Sean Dyche, I'd say Ange's better than Dyche, but at least Dyche knows what tools he's working with and doesn't go gung ho. That's not me saying I want Dyche at Spurs, but who else is there that's worse than Ange?
Lopetegui was, but he's been sacked.
Is that actually confirmed now?
I thought it was yesterday, wasn't it?
When they get Graham Potter in,
or really it's there
in a couple of weeks, I would take Graham Potter over Ange. So, who else? And the fact that all of you are not arguing with me goes to show that everyone can fucking see this. But in the Tottenham fan base, you know, the narrative is give him time, give him time. I'm all for giving a manager time if he can show that he can adapt on a constant basis.
When West Ham sack Lopetegui and they bring in Graham Potter, West Ham are going to have a better manager than you, in your opinion?
Yes, because when they win their next game and we lose to Arsenal, we could be level on. If Crystal Palace beat Leicester, which the likelihood is they will do because it's at Selhurst Park, you guys beat Southampton.
Yeah, I was going to say as well. I was going to say as well, right? If West Ham get that new manager bounce, Man United, we're at home against Southampton. I know we've had some bad results, but 6 points all season. I think we'll win that game. Yeah, you man could be in 14th.
Yeah, so we're 14th, 15th, then.
Hang on. They won't know the goal difference is there. Palace are only 3 points behind you as well.
And they've got Leicester at home next week.
But their goal difference won't do it. But a couple of defeats on the back, you could end up in 15th in the next 2 weeks.
How many points?
This is my point. At what turning point? Like I said this to George. George said he doesn't want to sack Ange because Ryan Mason comes in, and I agree with that. But at the same time, what's going to be the turning point in the masses at Tottenham to say this squad is nowhere near 15th in the league? Yes, we've got injuries, but it's not 15th in the league, is it? Let's just be brutally honest. Like I know it's nowhere near Champions League level. It's anywhere between, for me, 7th and 10th. I would say this squad is. I'd probably say 8th. We're probably about 8th.
But with the injuries, we look at your second unit, and it's literally a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but then again, we had a fully fit team. We lost to Crystal Palace. We had a fully fit team. We lost to Ipswich.
And that's where I will agree with you. I know there's injuries now, but a lot of your flaws with it. I said the same thing about Ten Hag last year. You saw the flaws with the full team and without it. Things just got worse with the injuries. I agree. Let's do some super chats here before we touch on Chelsea.